Can the divine masculine have both a Satori awakening and also a Kundalini awakening? Yes, they can. So Kundalini awakening is your Kundalini Shakti energy, right? So when your twin flame, the divine masculine, meets you as a divine feminine, he ignites essentially your Kundalini energy from the lower chakras to go cascading all the way up. It can be either rapid or fast, or it can be very slow and steady with the Kundalini-like symptoms. Anyway, the energy goes up each chakra system like a serpent, cleansing and purifying. And that's when the divine feminine starts doing all the emotional work, the inner work, the shadow work, and it's very painful, and it's also very spiritual. And then you come right to the top, to the crown chakra, where Shiva is asleep and unconscious, and that's when you trigger Shiva's Satori, so your divine masculine Satori, where he gets an instant shock awakening and realization that you're the one. Now that state is not sustainable, right? It basically it will be fleeting, and you have to maintain it. So after that, the divine masculine's Kundalini will also awaken, and he will go through the process, perhaps a little bit more faster, and go through the chakras to cleanse them so that he also gets fully awakened. Now, part of that process would have been happening anyway, but it speeds up. Now, for the divine feminine, when your Kundalini is going and awakening in the beginning, you'll also have moments of Satori and realizations and deep thought-provoking sort of downloads as well. So ideally, you both experience Satori-like symptoms and Kundalini-like symptoms, but it works in different ways, you know. So the masculine burns from the outside in, and the feminine burns from the inside out. And as you do so, you kind of like switch places. An analogy that I could give you is, imagine that there's a maze, and inside the maze, there's a jackpot, a gold coin or something, some sort of like award or winnings. And in the center, that's where the divine feminine is. So you kind of start off as a divine feminine with the golden pot. So you realize the prize already, but you still got to get out of the maze. So you have to figure your way out and get out. So you're being pushed that way. So the realization's there, and then the Kundalini is happening. Whereas for the divine masculine, they don't know why, but they feel like they have to get inside the maze. They don't know why, they're outside, and they have to push themselves all the way in, and they're being pushed to keep going in, but they don't know what they're looking for. They don't know what they're going to find. And then finally, when they go inside to the center, they find the gold, and they realize that you're their twin flame, and everything's clear. So essentially, yes, the divine masculine will go through an instant Satori awakening and also a Kundalini awakening too. But it may look slightly different to the feminines, but both will have to switch roles and have those experiences.